I'm Brian Bradley, the founder of Bradley Legal Corp, and I didn't build my law firm to hand out basic trust or stack up cookie cutter LLCs. I built it because I saw what was happening behind the scenes, and I realized the old ways of protecting wealth aren't going to survive the next 10 years. The courts are political, the banks are reckless, news organizations are corporations with agendas and narratives. The currency you're saving is quietly being devalued. Inflation is out of control with the corrupt Federal Reserve. We have massive global monetary manipulation. And if you're still relying on the same old estate plans and insurance policies, you're gambling, not protecting. I didn't set out to criticize what others have done. You made smart moves for, the world that existed, but the world has changed. That's why I went deeper. Books like The Sovereign Individual, they opened my eyes to a world where wealth belongs to those who can move and control their assets across borders, not those trapped inside a collapsing legal system that creates an endless class of victims to prey upon us while we blindly hope that the rules stay fair. Especially in the information age where money, contracts, and assets move digitally across borders in seconds. The old ways that protected wealth are collapsing faster than ever, and the world is far more complicated than simply avoiding death taxes. Today, assets aren't just homes and stocks. They're Bitcoin, they're tokenized investments. Yeah, it's also stocks and bonds, it's rental properties, it's international portfolios and equity stakes. And if you aren't structuring to protect both your physical and digital wealth, you're already behind. The sad truth that most don't want to hear is you don't rise to the level of your income. You fall to the level of your legal structure that's protecting you when things go wrong. And real wealth today isn't about how much you own. It's about how many layers of independent, resilient protection you've already built around it before a crisis ever hits. Because once you're sued, the system you created is locked in. We can't add any new layers to it. That's why we don't just set up basic LLCs or trusts. We design fully layered legal protection systems that don't depend on one judge, one courtroom, or one country to protect you. It's layered, it's global when needed, and it's designed to work, when the unexpected happens. And here's the reality. Owning your crypto keys and hard wallets isn't enough. If your digital assets aren't structured inside real legal protections, they're still vulnerable to lawsuits, divorce, and seizures. Don't get me wrong, self-custody is good. Legal protection is better. The reality you must understand is that if your wealth, whether it's real estate, cash, or crypto, business investments, whatever it is, if it's trapped inside one legal system, you are one lawsuit, one political shift, one financial collapse away from losing it all. And tomorrow's crisis won't move slowly. This is a global and fast-moving digital world. The next financial shock is going to hit faster, harder, and with less warning than anything we've ever lived through before. Waiting until you're under attack to structure your protection is gambling with your life's work. The families that survive, the ones that we're going to read about 50 years from now, they're going to be the ones who built resilience into their systems before the storm, not after. And so let me ask you this. If you did nothing and you just kept all your assets just as they currently are and you left it at the status quo, can your current system withstand an all-out legal attack on your wealth? Another question to think about is, what are you really protecting? What you're protecting isn't just assets. It's your family's freedom, their choices, and their ability to move, build, and grow, even when the systems around them are breaking down. You're protecting your legacy. True wealth isn't measured by your balance sheet today. It's measured by whether your great-grandchildren still have opportunities because you structured and protected their wealth while you could today. The system we specialize in, the Bridge Trust, was designed specifically for this reality. It doesn't rely on one court, one country, or one judge to work. It's built on over 3 decades of proven legal case law and offshore enforcement history, and it successfully survived over 300 attacks. The Bridge Trust gives you a fully legal, fully compliant global layer of protection, keeping you in control of your assets today and giving you the ability to shift them when the world demands it. That's what the Bridge Trust delivers. True layered private protection, not marketing gimmicks, not theory, not basic cookie cutter templates, but tested structures that have stood up when it mattered the most. That's why we're selective about who we work with, because real protection requires real seriousness. So if you're serious about building layered protection, if you're ready to stop gambling and start structuring your freedom, then click the link below and reach out to us. Let's have a real conversation about building a protective system that matches the reality we're living in now, not the fantasy that most advisors are still selling. In the information age, wealth isn't just earned, it's protected by those who structure it with resilience, and it's lost by those who hope, for fair play. The next decade will belong to those who structure wisely. The only question is, will you still be playing by the old rules when it's too late?